All right, today we're jumping into a standard of excellence in medicine that's so demanding, it's actually been proven to save lives. We're talking about something called JACIE accreditation. So let's think about this. You've got one of the most complicated fields in all of medicine, hematopoietic cell transplantation, or HCT. There are so many moving parts. So how on earth do you guarantee safety and quality? That's the big question we're tackling today. Here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll get into why this field is such a huge challenge. Then we'll look at why accreditation is so valuable. After that, we'll walk through the 3 main steps to actually get it. And finally, we'll talk about why the work is never really done. Okay, so what is it about HCT that makes it so different? Why does it need its own dedicated system for quality control? Well, it really all boils down to its incredible complexity. I mean, think about it. It's like a massive, intricate orchestra. You have layers of medical complexity. You've got the clinical teams, the cell collection teams, the laboratories, all needing to work in perfect sync. And it doesn't stop there. They rely on outside groups like donor registries too. Everything is connected. One wrong note anywhere in that chain can have huge consequences. That's why they needed a standard way of doing things. And that standard, that solution the medical community came up with, is accreditation. It's how they manage the quality and the risk that's just baked into this kind of treatment. At its heart, accreditation is so much more than just a piece of paper. The key thing to get here is that it's a peer review process. You have experts in the field evaluating a center against the highest standards. And the goal isn't just to check a box, it's to always be getting better. And this seal of quality, it gives peace of mind to literally everyone involved. The doctors and nurses, the insurance companies, and of course the patients and their families who are putting all their trust into that medical team. But let's be real for a second. Reassurance is one thing, but does this whole intense process actually lead to better results for patients? Well, as it turns out, the data is pretty clear. The research here is just, wow. Studies looking at thousands of patients found that for transplants using donor cells, the JACIE-accredited centers saw patient mortality rates drop significantly faster over time. This is some of the best evidence we have that these quality systems make a real life-saving difference. Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the how. The whole journey to getting accredited can be broken down into a clear 3-phase roadmap. First, let's get a bird's eye view. And I gotta tell you, this is not a quick process. From the moment you start planning to when you get the final award, you could be looking at 2 years, maybe even more. And look at that big chunk in the middle, 12 to 18 months. That's just the implementation part. That's the real hard work. But really, you can boil the whole journey down to these 3 core phases. Think of it as the paperwork phase, the people phase, and the polishing phase. Pre-inspection is all the documentation. Inspection is when they visit you, and post-inspection is where you fix anything that wasn't quite right. So in that first phase, the paperwork phase, a center basically has to prove its quality on paper. This is a massive documentation effort. We're talking standard operating procedures, staff training records, the entire quality management plan, you name it. This gives the inspectors a deep dive into how the center works before they even walk through the door. Next up is the inspection itself. For a day or two, a team of peer experts is on site. And they're not just reading documents anymore. They are touring the facilities. They're watching procedures as they happen. They're talking to the staff. They're there to make sure that what looks great on paper is actually happening in real life. After that visit, the inspectors create the inspection report. This is the critical takeaway from the people phase. It's a detailed document that lays out what the center's doing well, but also gives them a clear, actionable list of anything that needs to be improved. And that report leads right into the final phase. The center takes that report and uses it as a to-do list, implementing all the corrective actions. Then they have to provide proof that they've made the fixes. Once everyone, including the main accreditation committee, is satisfied, the accreditation is officially awarded. But here's the thing, getting that certificate on the wall, it's not the finish line, not even close. It's actually the start of an ongoing promise to keep that standard of excellence day in and day out. Because, any system, if you don't keep working on it, will start to fall apart. The hard work doesn't stop when you hang the certificate. In a lot of ways, that's when the real challenge of maintaining excellence truly begins. Yeah, keeping that quality high is an active process. It means constantly updating your procedures, running your own internal audits to check on yourselves, making sure staff training never stops, and carefully tracking all your data so you can learn from any mistakes or deviations. It's about making quality part of your program's DNA. So you might be wondering, who are the people behind the curtain making this whole international system work? What's pretty amazing is that this whole thing is powered by volunteers. You have expert inspectors who give up their time to travel to other centers, committee members who review all the reports and make the final decisions, and a standards committee that makes sure the bar for quality is always being raised. It's a system built by the community for the community. And because it's a peer review system, it's not some scary top-down audit. It's actually a really positive, collaborative environment. It's all about shared learning. Both the inspectors and the center being inspected walk away having learned something new, which just helps lift the quality for everyone in the field. And that really brings us to the final big idea here. The whole JACIE process is a perfect example of the fact that excellence in medicine isn't some destination you arrive at. It's a journey, a continuous journey of improvement, of learning, and of dedication.